And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Talkin' NASCAR podcast. He returned. We're back tonight, though, with none other than Hitmaster. He's back in the flesh, and we are back from the week off that we had. It was a really nice trip that I took. That was gone for the episode. I hope you enjoyed the game review that was in place of that. So that was good. But anyway, we're back on. Oh, God damn! It's killing me. I cannot talk. That back audio. Jesus. Holy crap. Anyway, we're back at it this week. We got a double race recap to do. We're going to recap the weekend of Mid-Ohio / Atlanta and also New Hampshire weekend this episode. So that should be good. We got a bunch of news to talk about because the fact that it's 2 weeks worth of news. We're gonna do. I think because we're doing a double race recap this week, we might not need the time to do 2 game reviews this week. So I might only do 1. But I finally did play Dirt to Daytona. So that is going to be reviewed today, and I have another one ready to go if we need time. We have time for one more, but I'm assuming we're not going to. So I can save it for the next episode if needed. And then, of course, at the end, we'll preview the weekend for Pocono. So should be all good there. But first, we'll talk about our double race recap. First off, we'll start with the weekend at Atlanta / Mid-Ohio. Let me just pull back to that. I think it was... So the trucks were at Mid-Ohio. I will say, right now, I didn't get a chance to watch any of these races at all. I saw some highlights, like online. That was about it. So I'm going basically just off of who won and any major high points I saw in highlights. For the truck race at Mid-Ohio, Corey Heim was able to take the victory over Zane Smith and Christian Eckes. Mid-Ohio usually puts on decent product for a race. Nothing spectacular, so but I honestly, like I said, I didn't watch the race at all, so I wouldn't know. As far as, and then we get to Atlanta, the super speedway race there was a big one for the Xfinity race that took place, so that was pretty cool. And John Hunter Nemechek was able to clean up and take the win there. So congratulations to John Hunter Nemechek. And then the Cup race. More rain controversy plagued this one, with it being called early due to rain. This time, though, it wasn't called before halfway, it was called after, so it made a little bit of sense. But the win was given it to William Byron, getting the victory at Atlanta for the Cup Series. So congratulations to William. I'm going to turn it over to Hitmaster now if he's got any points on any of these races, though, because, again, he might have gotten a chance to watch them, because I totally did not.
I didn't watch the Truck Series at all. I did watch the Cup Series. I think I watched a little bit of the Xfinity Series while I was playing iRacing. The races weren't bad. I have to say, for all the Atlanta races that I've seen with the new configuration and everything, This race was very good. You saw drivers that usually wouldn't be up there. We had Daniel Suarez, who almost won a third straight for Trackhouse. I mean, with, it's surprising. I did also find out that after the Chicago Street Course win for Trackhouse, Trackhouse has won their first. Well, sorry. Each driver that has won has been from a different country. You got New Zealand, the guy that won at Chicago Street Course. You got Suarez from Mexico, and then you got, of course, Ross Chastain from the United States. So that's surprising. Um, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. Brad Keselowski was up in the front at Atlanta half the time. So I mean, some good races.
Oh,
But
good.
I mean, other than that, I didn't see the truck race, so I can't say anything about that.
Oh, well, still all good stuff. All good stuff from Atlanta. Then we moved on to New Hampshire, where the Xfinity and the Cup raced. There was a big one on a restart in the Xfinity race. We'll get to more about the restart stuff a little bit later on in the episode. But apparently came down to a pretty crazy finish with Hunter Nemechek going back to back and getting the win at New Hampshire in the Xfinity series. For the Cup Series, they were postponed to Monday because of rain. It was not a very controversial call. They made it pretty early on in the day. Made it a noon start on Monday. And this one was not that crazy. It turned out a lot of people called it a pretty boring race. And the driver that usually wins the boring races pulled through again with Martin Truex dominating and taking a pretty handily victory at New Hampshire. So for his first ever career win in New Hampshire, by the way, which is really, really cool. So
I thought he won at New Hampshire.
So congratulations to Truex there. And there was a post-race fight between, it was Mike McDowell and who else? I gotta look this up. Yet. I should have done more research. Who was it? I don't remember. Where's the NASCAR page? Oh, I have a funny story actually, to talk about today as well. I just realized. Oh, here we go. Michael McDowell and Ryan Preece got into a exchange of words post race, so that was pretty interesting to watch on the highlights. So, that was very, very good. So. Other than that, though,
Oh, go ahead.
nothing. On that, it's really all. Again, I didn't get to watch either of the races, so I don't really have much else to say because I can't really weigh in on if they are good or bad. So, turning it over to Hitmaster once again.
I mean, I watched the start of the second stage, I think it was. But yeah, like you said, I'm sure Jr. was dominating the race. I mean, at one point, it was very close between, I think, who finished second? I'm trying to remember.
Logano?
Top of my head.
It was Logano.
Yeah. Logano was catching. I think if there was like maybe 10, 15 laps to go, I think Logano would have caught him. But there was like 5 cars in front of Logano, and then just clear for Martin Truex. So I mean, Logano could have probably caught up and won the race, but if those 5 cars weren't there. But I mean, it was rough for Eric Almirola too, as Almirola actually was also dominating, excuse me, the race. Um, but then someone on his team was an idiot and decided to not put the lug nut tight enough. So right when they were coming around the first corner while he was in first, it bounced off and he hit the wall hard. And there goes his race. So, and then there goes Martin Truex just driving by, and probably would have been Eric Almirola's win.
Man, that sucks. It was also a bad day for Kyle Busch, I saw too, finishing 36th. After a good string of top 10s and top 5s with a couple wins in there for him over the last few weeks. But, I mean, that's really it that we have for recap of the weekends, 2 weekends events. So, decent racing overall, but nothing too spectacular. So, but now we move on. So, got some other news. I forgot. I do have a funny story to tell. Don't let me forget because it's pretty good. It might be pretty good. It's a little weird. I'll get to it later. But so our first set of news comes out of the ARCA series. We don't talk about ARCA very often, but an ARCA driver was suspended for wrecking his own teammate during a race. I gotta take a look at this again. I read on it everywhere.
There was a time where I think there's another person, I think it was Deegan, when she was in the ARCA series, she wrecked her teammate, but it was for the win. I mean, either way, you shouldn't wreck your teammate, but, I mean, what are you going to do? You have to try to win a race, so.
It was Sean Hingorani wrecking another teammate, Dean Thompson, his own teammate. So, rip to that. The suspension has probably already been served. This was an older news article, but like I said, I've been gone for a while, but still pretty interesting nonetheless. So. Some silly season stuff. Spire Motorsports and Corey LaJoie are finalizing a contract extension. LaJoie has been one of the bigger free agents so far because a lot of people think that he's being held back by some bad equipment and he has potential. I don't know about that anymore, really. He's had some chances for sure and kind of blew them. But regardless, it does seem like he will be returning to Spire. There hasn't been an official contract extension yet announced, but there is one in the very late development process. So we'll see how long that may be and what the money worth is there. So really big silly season news was out of the sponsorship camp. This was rumored quite a while ago. We talked about it right here on the podcast, I remember. It was a few months ago for sure, but it's been confirmed now. Busch Beer will be sponsoring Ross Chastain next season in the one car. They are jumping ship from Stewart-Haas. Busch Beer has been a longtime sponsor of Kevin Harvick, I think dating back to 2016. So the Anheuser-Busch thing with Budweiser, they've been with the 4 cars since Harvick moved to Stewart-Haas in 2014. It was Harvick beforehand, for a few years before that. So it's been quite a while. So this is pretty big stuff, and a testament to how structurally sound the Stewart-Haas organization really is, losing one of their primary sponsors that they've had for a really long time to an up-and-coming team in Trackhouse. So it's gonna be kind of weird seeing the Busch logo on the one car being back on a Chevy for the first time since 2016. But it's going to be pretty exciting. It's a big deal. I'm glad we finally got confirmation about that. So, More news about the Garage Project 56 car as well. It ran another event at the... What was it? It was... So it's scheduled, or it already has ran, the Goodwood Hill Climb event. So I'm looking this up right now. So basically what it is, it's like it's a speed festival thing. So looks like it just happened recently. So this is pretty old news by now. But we'll see where the Project 56 car finished, if I can find it. It's not on their website anywhere.
I did just get some news in that Chad Chastain is going to be driving the 20 car for Young's Motorsport at Pocono, by the way.
Interesting. So I don't know where the car finished. It might have not even been a race. It might just been like a burnout contest or something. But it was there. So that was pretty cool to see there. For sure. So we talked about this, I think, on the last episode about the Jimmy Johnson in-law murder situation. It's more gruesome than we thought, and so to reveal that the wife shot the husband and the grandson, and then shot herself in a murder-suicide situation. So that's pretty bad, and that just really sucks. It causes just a lot more drama and turmoil to an already really sad case. So that really sucks. My condolences still out to Jimmy Johnson and his family dealing with all this. So very sad stuff there. Some penalties post Atlanta is up next. The 7 and 48 Xfinity teams were both fined for loose lug nuts. So the punishment there, the crew chiefs were each fined $5,000. That's a pretty light punishment, all things considered. Nothing really, there wasn't really the lug nuts were just loose, like the tire didn't fall off or anything. There was no safety issue. Well, there's a safety risk, but there was nothing bad actually happened. So, but a pretty light penalty for crew chiefs. They probably get paid. Probably pocket change to them at this point. But that also happened. Bigger news, we got 2024 NASCAR Hall of Fame nominees have been announced as well. So let's pull up who that is. Hall of Fame nominees for the class of 2024. If it will ever load, meet the nominees. So, in alphabetical order by last name, we have Donnie Allison, Sam Ard, Neil Bonnet, Tim Brewer, Jeff Burton, Carl Edwards, AJ Foyt, Harry Gant, Harry Hyde, Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus, Banjo Matthews, Ralph Moody, Larry Phillips, and Ricky Rudd. Those are your 2024 class nominees. I believe Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus, I know for sure, were two of the new additions to the nominee list. Some of these have been on there before. I think Jimmy Johnson, we know, is a surefire Hall of Famer. Chad Canals probably is probably going to be one, but I don't know if it's going to be this one. I'm surprised Ricky Rudd hasn't gotten in yet. Donnie Allison, Neil Bonnet, those are also pretty likely going to get in. AJ Foyt's another very likely one too. Harry Gant would be a popular choice. Jeff Burton, Carl Edwards don't seem like super deserving in my opinion, but you know, they're more recent, so that might get them the edge to get in. Tim Brewer, he's been around for a really long time. I wouldn't be surprised if he got in as well. And the other ones, like, I'm sure there's a reason why they're nominees for the Hall of Fame, but I just don't know them well enough to gauge whether they're really, I think, going to get in or not. So, but yeah, that's cool stuff right there. A few more things. First off, Chase Elliott is going to be running this weekend's Xfinity race at Pocono, as well as the Cup race. So he's doing double duty this weekend. That's pretty cool. A new podcast has already been started now by Dale Jr. He already has the Dale Jr. download. Very popular NASCAR podcast. Maybe not as popular as this one, but you know, we'll get there. But he's starting a new one called Becoming Earnhardt. And this one seems to be a little bit more about himself personally, and about maybe his family and stuff like that too. So it sounds like a very interesting podcast for sure, and I would love to tune in. I don't know exactly where you can find it. Let me look it up actually. We got the time.
You can do Spotify. I listened to the first episode.
So it's going to be an 8-episode podcast series centered around the 1979 Cup season in which his dad scored his first win. Apparently the inspiration for making this podcast was after his grandmother, Martha Earnhardt, passed away back in 2021. They were going through old newspaper clippings and highlights she had kept over the years. The scrapbook specific to the 1979 season that Dale Earnhardt's older sister, I can't pronounce her name, had kept all these years. That's made the idea for the podcast. So, sounds like a very interesting episode, interesting series for sure. And I would highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're a big Dale Sr. fan or just a big NASCAR fan, for sure. So,
2 thumbs up.
We got a couple other things. Sheldon Creed, currently a full-time Xfinity driver for Childress, will be making his Cup debut at Kansas later this season, in September when they go down there for the playoff race. He'll be driving in the race himself, so that'll be pretty cool to see. I think he's deserving of at least a chance in a part-time ride for the rest of the season. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do in Cup equipment. A couple other things. We got another supercar driver making his way over to NASCAR. Brody Kotzeski. I don't know how you really pronounce that name, but he'll be making his NASCAR Cup debut at the Xfinity Road Course. He's currently a competitor in the Australian Supercars series, same as Shane Van Gisbergen. he'll be running the 33 car for Childress. So they're bringing the 33 back after a long dormancy. Actually, not that long. They ran the 33 was used for. It wasn't used for Childress. It was used for Austin Cindric though in 2021 for a few specific races. But as far as it being the Childress 33, that hasn't been around for a long time. So it'll definitely be pretty cool to see it make a return. For sure. And then when we talked about the Xfinity New Hampshire race, I told you guys that there was a big one on a restart. Well, NASCAR bogged down about that and made a statement and a warning about restarts going forward. So let's read on. Let's take a little bit of look, or let's take a little bit of a more in-depth look to this, shall we? NASCAR issuing stern communication to teams to clean up restarts. And it's in direct reference to the big one in the Xfinity race. There was no penalties or warnings issued about that specific restart. So President Elton Sawyer was asked about that on the radio the other day. But so they're going to be cracking down on that for sure. Restarts have been have not been like horrible this season, but they have been a little jank because of the expanded restart zone and everybody kind of getting a little more acclimated to that. So that probably has a piece about it, but restarts in general have been more strategically inclined in the last few years because people are starting to take advantage of, pulling up slow to a restart and botching everybody up and then hitting the gas or whatnot. And it's caused a little bit of stuff up, maybe jumping the restart and a few other things. So we'll see if it really takes into effect. I think they really issued a warning mostly because Pocono is a big restart-heavy track. That's where a lot of the excitement and a lot of the strategy comes in during the race is, you got to really get it all on the restart. It's a very fast track with a long straightaway. So you really got to get everything you can on those restarts. And I think that's why they're taking that into account this weekend as they go to Pocono. So the last piece of news that I had, Shane Van Gisbergen, just talked about him a few minutes ago. He's coming back. He's going to be running the Indy Road Course for the 91 Project Trackhouse car. So he is coming back, baby.
He wins that one. I'm going to be shocked if they don't give him a ride next year.
It's already... He's got a good shot. I'd like to see how this Brody Koteski guy does as well. I think he will put up... I mean, those two could really have a very interesting duel at the Indy Road Course. But listen, if we have a 2021 Indy Road Course-like race, everybody's fucked. Okay? So we'll see. But that should be pretty interesting if they both can make a good run at it for sure. So otherwise, that was all of the news that I had. I don't know if you had anything else news-wise.
Looking on the Corgan Oil things, if they have any new stuff. I guess if you guys want to go see, July 26th is on Wednesday, July 26th, they're going to be racing at Corgan Oil. Let me see here. I'm trying to find... Oh, so this is a 500-mile race that they're about to do at Corgano.
500-mile race on a quarter-mile track. That equates to 2,000
Um,
laps.
yeah, no. Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Models Quad Crown July 100th. Well, that's at Owasso. Um, trying to find. Hold on. Oh, they're just showing. Never mind. Never mind. It says Wednesday, July 26th. So, I mean, whoever wants to, like, I might go. To be honest.
I can't go. I will be busy, but sounds like a lot of fun for sure. Anyway, oh, I gotta tell my story. So, if you guys didn't know, if you guys didn't check up on the Pringles and Company Discord server over the last couple of weeks, you would know that I was on a big long vacation, and one of those stops was in New York City. That was really, really, really cool. We, at our hotel in New York City, we were, so as part of like our bonus for the room, we got like a $30 credit that we could use in like the restaurant or the bar every day. So one night we were doing that. We were, we got like an appetizer and a couple drinks and just, hung out. We were watching the home run derby, and we were sitting down in like this couch lounge area right in front of a TV. And I sit down and I look to my right, and there's a couple guys sitting there, just watching the game, nothing out of the ordinary. But one of them looked familiar, and I was trying to put, I couldn't think who they looked like. I'm trying to put my finger on it, and it took me about 20 minutes to realize who it was. Now, I don't know if this is true. It's very, very, very unlikely that this is actually who I'm thinking it was. But I may have been sitting next to Christopher Bell watching the MLB home run derby, okay? They looked extremely similar. And it makes sense because they were leaving Atlanta and going to New Hampshire. New York is somewhat on the way. But I highly doubt he was right and he was there doing that. I highly doubt it. But he looked very, very similar, and that was pretty. Now obviously I didn't go and like ask the guy, "Hi, are you Christopher Bell?" No, I'm not gonna do that. But, so, oh well. Maybe it would. Christopher Bell, by the way, if you're watching this podcast, Christopher Bell, were you at New York City on the day of the home run derby? I don't remember what day that was. If you were, you sat next to the one and the only Pringles son. How do you feel? But yeah, that's my little funny blooper from the trip. I wanted to visit Pocono Raceway, because we were near there. We were also near Dover, but that would have been a little more out of the way than Pocono was. But sadly, we didn't get to do that. But maybe one day. But anyway, other than that, I don't really have any other news. So it's game review time.
Because now I know what you're going to review.
So I finally got around to playing it. Just played it earlier today, actually. Played NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. And I've got some notes on it. Hitmaster, this is one of your favorite NASCAR games, so I thought, how about we dual review it? How about we just give all of our thoughts together about it? I think that would be a lot more fun than me just rambling for an hour and a half or however long these go. Never an hour and a half, well, most of the time. But anyway, so I didn't play it for that long. I went in and I played a few quick races on multiple different tracks. I tried the dirt mode. I tried some of the other small modes in the game. But I didn't play it as much as I wanted to because I just didn't have the time. And I'm like, fuck it. I just want to get this damn review out. But it was fun. I had a fun, enjoyable experience while playing it. So I got some notes on it. So first off, very badass intro. It's a testament at that time to have a badass intro to the game. I thought this one was one of the better ones. So that was really, really, really good start. I like that you can race in the Cup Series, you can race in the trucks, you can race in the modified, you can race on dirt, which is really, really cool. No Bush Series, though, which is weird. I don't understand. Is there a specific reason why the Bush Series is not there?
No, I've come to realize now that they should really have done modified dirt and truck and like all the way to Cup, because then that'd be actually how it would be in real life. You know, you'd start off in the dirt and then you work your way up to the Cup. But then again, it was in my head, I just wanted to race. I just love that. Wow. I love that game. I just said, screw it. I don't care about the Bush Series. I'm just working my way to the top.
As far as the driver selection, there's 27 Cup drivers in this game, plus you get your custom cars. I think it's a little small for the time that this game came out. It came out in 2002, by the way, if you people were wondering. So it has the 2002 paint schemes and drivers that were around at the time. It's a little disappointing that there were no alternative paint schemes. You're just stuck with one paint scheme for everybody. That was a little annoying, but you know, it doesn't really matter that much. But it would just been a little pretty cool to have more than one for the drivers. And then for the track selection, there are 20 different tracks to race at, which is a pretty good selection, I think. Charlotte, Daytona, and Bristol all have both day and night race options. Richmond has only a night race option, and the rest of the tracks have only day race options, which is pretty cool. But a lot of good selection. You get Rockingham's in here, which is really cool. No fantasy tracks either, which sucks, but what do you expect? I mean, no fantasy tracks for like the NASCAR tracks. Like, of course, there's like dirt tracks and stuff that, you know, probably are based off of like real locations, but they're probably modified a little bit to fit better for the game. But that's what I. And then as far as, I like all the different things that you can do, like pre-race. You know, you can turn off, you can, you know, change your damage level, or with flags, or all that stuff. Why? It's weird that we can't like have a no tire wear option. Make it only a normal or higher, which is weird, but oh well. Also, why can you only enable black flags, no flags, or all flags? Why can't I just enable a yellow flag? And why only black flags? I'll be honest. Okay. I'll be honest. I'm gonna talk about the flags, okay? So I'm in a. So I decided to do Rockingham as my first track to race at, and can I just say, why is the button to accelerate so pressure sensitive? You literally have to be pressing down on the button as hard as you can the entire time, otherwise your car will not accelerate. That was so annoying. I thought I was pressing the wrong button because I was pressing down on X and it just wasn't going. And you gotta literally like staple your button, your finger to the button just to keep it going while you're playing the game. It's so annoying. That he did that. It fucked up my qualifying run first off, and then the race. But I just don't understand that.
I used to have what was it? A chair that would connect to my TV, and a thing that would connect to my it would connect to my TV and all that, and then it had bass on the side, so I could turn on the bass if I wanted to, and turn up the volume if I wanted to. So let's say if I was to wreck, vibration.
That sounds like a really fun experience.
It was. My grandpa got it for me, and I'm like, this is the best I've ever had. Now I just needed to move.
Driving chair. Another thing I do like is the track rating thing that you can do before you do a quick race. That's pretty cool. I thought. Now let's get to the race itself. I do like the track specific commentary with Alan Bestwick is really, really, really cool. Another great thing that they did. There's also Alan Bestwick commentary over a lot of the other modes in the game. Like they bring a lot of stuff over from NASCAR Heat. If you want to check out my review, that was a couple podcast episodes ago, I think. They brought a lot of that stuff over, but with updated thingies to it or whatever. But Alan Bestwick calls this game Heat 2, and a lot of the logos in the game, like in the menus, are Heat 2. So I wonder if the original name was supposed to be Heat 2 and not Dirt to Daytona. And they just didn't have the time or the ability to get Alan Bestwick back to change those. Because it's kind of like a big thing. Like I actually went back and looked at the cover of the game. Like, is it supposed to be Heat 2? No, it just says from the creators of NASCAR Heat. Here comes NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. It's So that kind of threw me off, but anyways, I raced on the Pro difficulty, which is the second hardest difficulty. I got Rookie, Pro, Veteran, and I don't remember the other two, but there are two other difficulties higher than that. But I'm like, oh, Pro, that's probably the base difficulty. That was the default one, so I'm like, all right, it's probably, I'm probably going to get the best racing experience possible with this one to start out. I lapped the field like two times over, and I started dead last as well, and I still lapped the field like 2 times over at Rockingham. I'm going into the turn, and I'm blazing around this track. It is insane how I'm passing so many cars at lightning speed, it seems like. And then, so, like, I go into a turn, and I can't avoid a car. So I'm literally rear-ending them. They're spinning around, causing a massive accident on the backstretch, like turn 3 or something. And there's no caution. I have all flags enabled, and there's no caution. I don't get black flagged for passing on the inside on a restart. I don't get black flagged for passing below the yellow line. I don't get black flagged for intentionally wrecking cars. I don't get black flagged for speeding on pit road, though I didn't actually do that. I never saw a flag. I saw one caution flag. One caution flag. That was it. Nothing else otherwise. But when you do get a caution flag, it's pretty cool because it's actually a pretty intense racing back to the line situation. To get back there to the caution flag. So that was pretty cool. And the restarts are cool. And the starts as well, when it kind of like zooms in on your car. And then the commentary makes it nice because you get to hear the like story of the track and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, Pro difficulty, not the greatest for people who are looking for a slight challenge. So I decided to up the difficulty 1 over to Veteran and go to Talladega instead. And I was doing all right. And then let me
guess, you wrecked.
Well, no, I let Ward Burton pass me. And then I wrecked him and caused the big one. Brought a caution out for some reason. and then I pitted from the lead by accident and ended up finishing 13th. So that was disappointing, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, some other notes. I said pro difficulty is super easy, lol. It's not very clear what causes a caution and what doesn't. Like I said, I didn't get any of the other flags, outside of like the green and the white flag and checkered flag, obviously. But I do like the post race stats and the end of the race awards, like tough break or biggest mover or all that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool, especially if you're that would have been perfect for like some online functionality thing, though this is a PS2 game, so that probably doesn't exist anymore. I would be surprised if it did, but that would work well for that. But it's still pretty cool when you're just racing against CPUs. I also realized that if you try to just go straight, your car veers to the right. You have to always be trying to steer, and that's really, really bad on tracks like Talladega, where you have to be as still as possible to keep up your speed and get any semblance of drafting. Like, it's impossible to draft at Talladega just because your car is veering to the right if you try to go straight, and it's not really like a good clear definition of like where how to really get cool stability on your car. So that kind of sucked, but what are you gonna do? The car and track renders of this game are not the greatest, but they're not horrible. The track renders, I think, are what they are. It's good. For the tracks that I played, the car renders are a little weird. Some of the numbers are not in the correct format or order. Some of the paint schemes look a little weird. For specifically Elliott Sadler's 21, because he has the Wood Brothers 21. This 21 is facing the wrong direction. It's slanted forwards when it should be slanted backwards. A couple others, look a little weird, but nothing like super bad. I thought graphically this game looked really, really good, especially for being a 2002 game. I think otherwise, though, that's really much what I have to say about it. As far on that front, at least, I thought it was pretty good. So, and let's talk about the dirt race. Because after 2 quick races, I tried a dirt race because I'm like, all right, it's called Dirt to Daytona. I raced on Talladega, close enough to Daytona. I need to do a dirt race. Stuff is jank as shit. Okay. So I don't even know what track I was on, but I was in the car and I raced Heat, Eldora. I know that dirt racing is a little weird. It can be. So, I'm trying to correct myself for all this stuff. What I didn't know is that, first off, I didn't know that when you do your qualifying run, all the cars are lined up on the bottom of the track, and you can actually hit them if you're doing your qualifying run. So that was funny. But also, if you get too far low on the track, you get into this sand stuff that makes your car come to a dead stop and spin around. So that was wonderful to have on my qualifying run twice. So, but then it's cool, you do the structures for the heat races and A main, B main type stuff, which is really, really cool. And then you're trying to figure out the dirt stuff while also racing against other cars. And your car is just so loose, and you don't know where the line is between the sand stuff that can kill you and the dirt that you can actually race on, and so you're spinning out, and sometimes other cars get stuck in there, and then it can just become a traffic jam and stuff like that. Sometimes the lightest tap will just send your opponent just spinning around like crazy. One time, I was going back racing at Rockingham, and I just barely grazed the corner panel of Robbie Gordon, and he lost his shit and crashed. So that was awesome to watch. But it just, it's fun, but it's not good. It's kind of like, turning off stability in NASCAR 01 and trying to race Bristol. You're probably going to have a fun time, but if you're expecting good gameplay, probably not for you. So there you go with that one. But like I said before, a lot of the stuff from Heat is here. I guess if it's called Heat 2, they were probably going to transfer a lot of that stuff over. I shouldn't be too surprised with that. So once again, the Winston branding cannot be used, so they call it the NASCAR Cup Series, which is funny again, because it's currently called the NASCAR Cup Series, even, you know, with the branding, so that's pretty funny. And then I'm going to talk about these unlockables, and this is where you come in, because I need you to explain these. Do I still have the image on my phone of them? I do. So let's read off. Let's read off these unlockables that you can get in the game by how you finish in a race. So the cheapest, we'll go from cheapest to most expensive. So first off, mini cars. Sounds pretty cool. Front wheel drive, probably pretty helpful. Monster cars, seems like fun. You know, you get the mini cars and get the monster ones. And then we've got super draft. That sounds pretty cool. Hornball. That one's weird. AI vengeance. This one threw me off. AI vengeance. All right. And then we've got insane race car. Or does it say pace car? No, it says race car. We'll skip the next one because I want you to explain this one further. And then we've got horn mortar. Okay. And then the most expensive one is hardcore physics. But to me, the most expensive one is not the most insane one. The most insane one is the third most expensive one. It's labeled Oh Dear. I'm sorry. What does Oh Dear mean?
So, well, first, before I do Oh Dear, because Oh Dear is something that is really fucking beautiful. Hornball is basically, if you go to Talladega and you want to bump that, once you bump the person, they're going off.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Same thing with engine, but this time, when you hit them, I think they also go off, but they go like so far off, they hit the wall and then they fly. So anytime a car hits its front end, it flies back.
Is that AI vengeance? Because AI vengeance just sounds like menacing.
AI vengeance is basically when you bump into someone, even if you lightly tap them, they will come back and can destroy you.
Oh, so it's kind of like a. It's like an old Rivals type thing before like the Rivals and Allies things was like kind of implemented. That just sounds so menacing because like especially with these days like ChatGPT and all the AI stuff, just reading AI vengeance can really send some chills down your spine. Tell me what horn mortar is. This one also interests me.
I'm even looking this up because I sometimes don't remember these. Oh, I remember that. So I remember this. I'm gonna take off this picture because I need to show you the video of it. So, horn motor. Hold on. I'm trying to get all the way. So basically, here's this. All right.
Okay.
Horn motor. Once he hits the car, right when he starts, get ready.
All right, I'm watching.
And Wait for it. Wait for it. It should be any time now, and it may take a bit. I'm sorry.
All right.
Wait for it.
Okay. Oh.
You could you push button.
Oh my god. This is like some NR 2003 mod shit right here. Okay, now tell me, what is what is oh dear? I must know. The viewers must know what oh dear is.
Deer is worse, in my opinion. To anybody else's opinion, it's not gonna matter for them. But when you see what oh dear is, so here's the first part of oh dear. Instead of
Oh
cars,
god, it's in a two-parter. What the
instead of
fuck is that?
it's little tiny bikes.
What the
Little
fuck? Oh no.
So there's one of oh dear. There's another version, unless I'm looking at it incorrectly. Right. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm sorry. Sorry for everyone that's, waiting for the moment to happen. But this is oh dear. That is the driver's feet.
What the fuck?
So the name is what it is. Oh dear.
Okay. That is weird. But you know what? The unlockables is what turns this game from, a good but not great NASCAR game to a peak NASCAR game. Okay. Oh boy.
As he goes into the race.
Oh my.
And you can see right at the top right there.
Oh my god.
Wreck him.
Oh.
Only one driver, too.
Oh, that's so stupid. This is so dumb. But you know what?
Beautiful.
That is what makes this game so elite, in my opinion. Those reasons, and those reasons only.
Oh dear.
I am now more intrigued than ever to play this game, and I will get all those unlockables, and I will make them happen.
I believe you can put, once you unlock all of them, you can put all of them through, and it can make mayhem.
Oh, you can do more than one? You can do more than one at once?
I believe so.
Oh, fucking Christ, dude.
So, like, let's say you could do hardball or hornball and oh dear. So when you hit the guy, he goes flying.
I can't. Oh my god. I have to. I have to do this. This is my goal now. This is my life now. This is this game. That's incredible. This game is I'm sorry. This is probably my second ever 10 out of 10. I have to give it a 10 out of 10. You cannot tell me that you have this, okay? NASCAR 06 has the truck, okay? This game takes the truck and goes like 10 times farther, maybe more, with walking giant NASCAR drivers. Literal like aerial like bomb attacks on the track during a race. And everything else. It is wow. Insane stuff. Crazy. I said this would be more of you giving opinion too. So how about you take the floor and give your some of your thoughts about this.
That game is not only my childhood, but that game is the best game I've ever played in my entire life. NASCAR Heat can't even beat it. NASCAR Evolution could definitely beat it. And what other games have I played? Oh yeah, NASCAR Heat 5 hasn't beaten it. So, I mean, you know, maybe for whoever's, you know, running NASCAR games, think to yourself, what should we put in our next game? I got it. We should go back to Hornball and oh dear, because then we can see shit like this.
It's just insane that this is in like the main game itself and not just like a mod. Like I don't. It's so crazy. It's so insane, dude. Oh, great game. Highly recommend you pick it up. It was definitely worth my money. But anyway, we've come to the end of the episode once again, and it is time for our race preview. So Pocono's coming up. Cup, Truck, and Xfinity are all there this weekend. So we will give our predictions. First off, I mean, Pocono, what's there to say that's never been said about Pocono before? It's put on some really, really good races. It's also put on some really, really bad races over its course. It's a very fast track with long straightaways and some pretty tight turns. It calls for some good passing. It's also known as a very good, as a very much a fuel mileage track too. Some long green flag runs are expected here. Maybe a big wreck, maybe not. We're seeing crazy restarts probably, for sure. Will it be the best race we've ever seen? Pocono's never been that track during the season, but I don't think it'll be the worst one we've seen either. So let's just hope the weather holds up. We don't want another third straight rain weekend. I can actually look at the weather right now.
I mean, I know it's in Pennsylvania. I'm talking about like.
It's in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. It's on the very east side of the state. And it looks like the weather's going to be nice. 78 and it's partly sunny there for the race. So, should be really, really good stuff. The truck race looks like it's going to have some rain, but I'm sure they'll figure out a time to get it working. But anyway, let's drop our predictions. First, for the Truck Series, who do we think is going to take victory here?
Trucks. You know, I know this is probably, but you know what? I haven't chose this person in a while. I'm gonna choose Haley Deegan.
Haley Deegan.
I know she probably won't win, but who knows? Maybe this could be her first win. And the first ever woman to win in the Truck Series.
For my choice... Sorry. My choice, I'm going to have to pick... I'll pick Matt Crafton. I don't think I picked him in a while. He got the 6th place finish at Mid-Ohio. I think that will transfer over to a win here. So, all right, now we'll move on to Xfinity. Who do we think is going to take the victory in Xfinity this weekend?
Three-peat.
You know,
John Hunter. I
was thinking the same thing. I think he can do it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So I think he can pull it off. Because we predicted him, we're probably going to get jinxed. But sorry, man, you got 2 wins. Okay, you can't ask for much more than that. And then anyway, move on to the Cup Series at Pocono. Breaking out the poker chips again. Yes. Yeah, baby.
Only time any of these poker chips worked was when I first got them at Bristol Dirt, and I picked Christopher Bell to win, and look who won, Christopher Bell. That is the only time this has worked. So, for pick for, and I'm gonna have to change this hat soon since the Red Wings are gonna be playing some soon. And the pick is, oh, would you look at that?
Funny.
Bell.
Not a bad pick, really.
Well, I mean, Bell could win it.
Maybe not Pocono, but, you know. Beggars can't be choosers.
Right. And for you, let's hope it's good.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take it.
He cheated last year, but, I mean, we're not going to talk about that.
He's won many times at Pocono. I can get behind that. That's a solid pick.
Got 2 good picks, actually.
Really.
Bell and Kyle Busch.
Good shit. This is going to be our weekend to get a correct prediction. Has to be, right? Anyway, with that in the books, that means this episode is also in the books. That's going to do it again. This was episode... Oh, question.
One more thing. That I am starting a talk show soon. And if anybody wants a talk show, go ahead and have Tyler text me or something like that, and I'll make sure to get you on, because it's an NFL talk show. I haven't done the video yet. I'm going to probably do it here in the morning, or probably after this, because I still have time. But if you guys want to be on, talk about football. So that's good too.
I may jump on, I may not. I might have to drop my weekly Lions post game reactions in the talk show.
Well, I do on live streaming of the NFL games if I don't work. So for the Lions at least. So I mean, not show it, but talk during it.
That's a good idea. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, though, that's going to do it for this episode of the Talkin' NASCAR podcast. Episode number 44 is in the books. If you would like to be a guest on the Talkin' NASCAR podcast, all you got to do is join the Pringleson and Company Discord server. Link will be in the description down below. And you can request the Talkin' NASCAR role, and we will figure out a time to get you on. We are always welcome for guests. So... anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you to Hitmaster for being on again. We should be good. We should. Keyword is should be good weekly from here on out. I know last week I couldn't do it. I don't think there'll be any more things that will hinder it. We're still a ways out from the end of the season, so I can't guarantee it, but hopefully we're good. But anyway... stay tuned for the next episode, and stay tuned for a bunch more amazing content. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Yeah, bye.